Wow, you guys recognize the song. Nice. Somehow the last two songs I've learned have been Tears for Fears songs, which I wouldn't really consider myself a huge Tears for Fears fan. But today's the day. New cards. Have I looked at the cards? I read them some, and I actually did one draft. But I definitely don't know them all. I read maybe like a third of the spoiler and then did a draft where I picked a couple of them. I had the new Rankle. It didn't seem particularly good. I mean, it's really good if your opponent has one creature and you have something to sack, but I think in general it probably wasn't that good. Oh, this card's kind of cool. The Impetuous Lootmonger. So it's kind of like a Discerning Peddler, but instead of getting a card from your deck, you get your choice of the top 3 cards from your opponent's deck. And it has first strike, and it has this like treasure making thing. Also, importantly, if you play it when you're empty-handed, you still get the effect, whereas with the Peddler, you don't. I do think this is a pretty good card, but I guess I'm going to pick Colossal Rattleworm. I've been drafting so much red. I'm happy to open a good non-red card and pick it. I think the Alchemy cards replace common, but I don't really know. Well, it doesn't seem like it replaced an uncommon, because this pack has 4 uncommons and an uncommon one of those things, so I have no idea how the coalition works. This deals combat damage to a player. Draw a card. When you draw your 3rd card in a turn, you get a Mox Emerald that you can turn into a creature, and it's 2 mana 1/2. That doesn't seem that good to me. Although this pack doesn't really have much in it. There's like some middling blue cards. Yeah, I'll pick this just to try it, but it really doesn't seem very good. But am I going to stick with blue-green? There is a Nimble Brigand, which this thing doesn't have to draw the card. It just, you need to draw 3 cards. It's also just a desert, which desert does make this card a lot better. I think I'll just take the desert. The Fomori Vault. This is one of the cards that it's just, you read it and you're like, whoa, I don't know what's going on here. Doesn't seem good, though. Oh, I don't know this card. That's pretty good. It's kind of like Throw from the Saddle, but with a different upside. It's probably worse than Throw from the Saddle, but it's still pretty good. Throw from the Saddle is really good. I think it's just Mobile Homestead. This is kind of like Tough Cookie, but it's way harder to use. Oh, wait, no, I misread this card. In blue-green, you don't animate the artifacts. This becomes a 4/4. That's way better than I thought it was. I thought it was Tough Cookie, where it was like you were going to turn the Mox Emerald into a 4/4, but it's not. This is actually really hard to block. That card's way better than I thought. All right. Now that we know that, what can we do? We have to use that information somehow. I'm going to choose to use it by picking Mirage Mesa. This pack does not have the cards that I wanted it to have. I'm not going to put Tornado in my... Like, if this was best of 3, I would just take Tornado for the sideboard, I guess. I really want to be blue-green so I can use my first 2 picks. I really don't want to put either of these blue cards in my deck, though. I guess I'll just take... I think Rooftop Assassin's probably the best card in the back. Maybe Earth of Joe's better. Which one is this? It's this one. Man, I assume it's going to... Luis is going to publish a video on his draft. He got me the other day with... It's not this one, but there's another Mythic that's a blue and 2, and it looks just like this. It's like the Simulacrum Synthesizer or something like that. And he got me with it really good in Vintage Cube. I would guess that video is going to come out in a day or 2. It's one where he's playing, he has like a Tolarian Academy deck. Have I ever used the fancy switcheroo? No, I've never seen anybody cast it. This is not, I don't think this is a very good format for switcheroos. I guess I'll just take Stone Cold. All right, we need to protect our Emerald Collector. Another desert. This one produces black. I might want it. I was wondering today, has anybody done... Yes, I'll just take a cheap creature. I think it's possible to do a combo in this format where you get... where you can Mindslaver lock someone. You need to have Mindslaver in play, and there's a white mythic that's a 2/4 called like Old Tech Gatekeeper or Gamekeeper or something. And it's like you can make a 1/1 artifact when I think a token comes into play, but when a token comes into play, you can instead have it come into play as a copy of an artifact. So if you have that thing and you have the Luxurious Limousine, I think you can make a Mindslaver every turn and Mindslaver lock someone. It just requires you to put Mindslaver and the Luxurious Limousine in your deck, and you need to get them all, and your opponent's going to need to like spot you 10 mana. What's this new card? Oh, this card's really good. It's not exactly Luminarch Aspirant, but if you're like consistently getting the +1 on the creature in play and you have one in your hand, so you're like getting +2 power every turn, I think this card's really strong. I'm not going to pick it just because I'm not white, but I think I'll just pick Villainous Wealth for the fun. Fun factor. Oh, this card's also, I think, pretty good. So it's like, I guess you need 7 or more cards in your graveyard, and then you get a creature. So maybe this card isn't that good. I think it's pretty good. Doesn't seem like I'm not to the point where I have a good lockpicker deck yet. I could just pick Tyrant Scorn and just be like into the idea that I'm playing 3 colors. I think that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully either the blue-green card or Bandit's Hall is going to wheel. Alright, so this is one of the cards that works well with the Emerald Collector, because you can get the Mox if you cast it. But I think Repulse is just too good. Especially in blue-green, where you can have a hard time interacting with people. How into Emergent Haunting am I going to be? This might actually be an okay deck for it. A bunch of instant speed stuff. I don't think I want this, because I do think I want to play 3 colors. This is, like, I am the right colors for Intimidation Campaign, but I don't think this is going to be a very good deck for it. I'll just take the cheapest card. Maybe I want Dance of the Tumbleweeds here. I don't want a double black card. I was happy with the Lush Oasis, but I think I have to take Stubborn Burrow Fiend. My deck's a little bit light on things that can crew the Homestead for me. Kind of feels like I'm in the right deck for my seat, though. Getting pretty good cards pretty late into the packs. Yesterday I was watching Ham's stream, and I just typed in the chat, Decimate can be pretty good in the right spot. And someone responded with, I think you have to leave it in your sideboard. They didn't appreciate that what I was saying was literally true, but perhaps not the most useful advice. So target creature gets -5/-5, or counter a non-creature spell, or heist their library. I think this is mostly just 3 mana kill a creature, which I guess I'm in the market for. There's the Limousine for that combo I wanted to assemble. I don't think I would play either of these blue cards. I guess I'll take a White Desert, maybe. Get some white card I want to play. Oh, I think this was the pack I was hoping to wheel something from. It doesn't appear to be happening for me. Sometimes I put this thing in my deck. I don't think this is a good deck for it, though. There's also this thing. I don't know. I think I'm not going to play any of those cards. What did it give me? Reach from the Sky. All right, I got the Visage Bandit somebody else wanted me to have. Maybe I'll play it. Feels like I'm a little bit low on playables right now. Maybe I'll wind up playing Intimidation Campaign. This is actually a really good way if you're actually trying to trigger crimes. The Spring Slasher is like perfectly respectable. Double Down. I do not think I have a good Double Down deck. Is this a mercenary? No. I'd be relying on villainous wealthing my opponents. I guess outlaws, not mercenaries. This is the card I'm going to take. I think this card is kind of good. It's not insane. It's like 3/4 Death Touch. But then you get this weird snake ability that you keep putting cantrip Ambush Vipers into your deck as the game goes on. It's a very strange card. So I've got 19 spells right now. I do love to plot the heist. What's this one? Oh, I don't think this one's very good. Let's heist your opponent's deck. I guess if you have enough stuff like Weave the Nightmare where you actually want to like you start getting paid for just having your opponent's cards, then maybe you want a card like this. But in general, this is, I think, not very good. So there's Plan the Heist, which I do like. Patient Naturalist, which is probably a more responsible pick. I'll pick Plan the Heist, though. Whoa, Scape Shift, can I do it? Second Intimidation Campaign. I'm really not very well set up for Intimidation Campaign. What's this do? So it's just 5 mana, but like a massive amount of value. I'll try it. I think it's probably going to be better for my deck than Intimidation Campaign. Could use more creatures, but I guess that's not what we're getting. I have a lot of, well, maybe I don't have a lot, but I have a reasonable supply of stuff that steals things from my opponents now. This is the Rankle I had. It's really not that good, and it's double black, so I'm not going to pick it. I think I'll just take another Geyser Drake. And I could have had 2 Riku of the Many Paths. I think my deck would be quite good if I was just blue-black. Just like straight blue-black. Ooh, a gift. Desert. What's this? Oh, it's in my colors. I probably have to play it. Secretly choose a card in your graveyard and conjure a duplicate of it into your hand. If the duplicate isn't a land, it gains flash. Sign me up. I like doing it secretly. I'm not going to play any of those. I don't think I'm going to play the second one. Maybe I should. So what, like if I stopped playing green as a main color, what would happen? Basically, I'm giving up the Rattleworm and the Jesse Zane. And a bunch of my 2-drops. And it would make the Mobile Homestead a lot worse. I think I maybe actually should do that. My mana's not very good. So if I really tried to reduce how much green is in my deck, I would be playing like this. Oh, I have 2 of those. And another Intimidation Campaign. And maybe like I could play that. If I wanted to, I could play that. And I would be giving, like I would certainly give up that. Probably give up all of this. And then it just really comes down to, am I going to play the double green cards, which I do think they're both good. But I kind of think that my deck is probably better like this. So I do have a little bit of green, so I can pump this thing. I'm not reliant on the emerald. And maybe I need to play one more card. Right now this is 4 green sources and 8 of blue and black. I don't think my mana's good enough that I can start adding the double green cards to my deck. I think I probably should just play like Dance with the Tumbleweeds. This also isn't a great Mobile Homestead deck, but I think it's still good enough. I've got 3 2-drops that crew it, 2 3-drops, 2 4-drops. It's on the light side, but it's not a disaster, I would say. It's Villainous Wealth, the main win con. Yeah, I think with the way this deck is, yes. I'm mostly going to be Villainous Wealthing people, or like grinding them out with Intimidation Campaign and cards I stole from them. I kind of wish that I had that black Heist instant now, which I don't think is good in most decks, but in a deck with Villainous Wealth and 2 of whatever that new uncommon is called, the blue-black one, I think it might actually be good. Ow. They're coming out fast. Fast and fierce. Perhaps slightly less fierce now, but still fast. So if they attack and they block, it's everything. I'm killing like Prickly Pear. It's not that exciting. This thing's going to be annoying. Not in a good spot to block it. Oh no. This is going to be really annoying. Whatever it is going to be bad. Emerald Collector was pretty disappointing this game. I sort of expected when I played it on turn 2 that it was going to be able to attack and draw me a card on turn 3 because they wouldn't have a reasonable block, but that proved to not be correct. Oh, they got Laughing Jasper Flint. Jeez. This person's not messing around, are they? Laughing Jasper Flint is like one of the few cards I think I can reasonably beat in this spot, though, so that's nice. Not a land. No, it's too cold. What in the world? Why'd they pack it in? I don't understand. If I draw black mana, by turn 3, this hand gets pretty good, so I guess I'll keep. If I draw green mana, it doesn't really improve my hand all that much. Does something. I was going to play the Tyrant Scorn this turn, but they don't have access to black mana. Or then red mana, rather. I'd like to get to play in such a way that I trade this for a creature so that I get closer to the point that I play Cathartic Operation. Oh man, if they don't have red mana. If they do have red mana. So if I get to trade the Rooftop Assassin... Well, alright, they didn't want to trade. I don't know what that was about. But basically, I can, with the Geyser Drake, I can cast this for 4 mana on their next turn. I'm like in the market to do. I can also just double block and trade off both my guys. I don't get to cast this for 4 mana then, but I can just untap, cast it, and then recast the Geyser Drake. Really just want to buy time so I get the biggest Villainous Wealth possible. If only this was an instant. I could be playing it for 2 blue. Even Villainous Wealth for 5 isn't even that exciting. It's not the worst. Come on, don't have Snakeskin Veil. If what they have is plus, if they take up the shield, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it'll win one of these other combats, but that is still a board state that I can come back from. Snakeskin Veil I cannot beat. Gold Rush. Okay. That's even less scary. And also, they could have saved their guy. I guess they were planning to reanimate their guy. Maybe that makes sense. This doesn't give first strike, it just gives hexproof and a counter. Well, they're going off. Lots of desert triggers. So they got to surveil, and they surveil to the top of their deck, meaning I'm getting a spell with this first card. Or I guess it could be a red land that they really wanted. Oh no, they're getting the card now. So that's not as good. Yeah, that's not as good as I'd hoped for. That's a lot of land. Oh, man. Yikes. How many colors did... I did kill a lot of their red sources and a black source that they have in their deck, so... Maybe it will become hard for them to cast cards at some point this game. I think they screwed up. I think they should be attacking with Miriam there. That is a good one to steal. This card is really good. I mean, I guess it's kind of bad in the sense that they couldn't cast it, but it is a really good card. Any chance I might mill them? Still got 7 cards left to go. They have a lot of good cards in their deck. And a lot of Dance of Tumbleweeds. Oh no. I'm gonna get crushed this game. They're gonna use Girid, Mirror of the Wilds. If I draw that rat guy, can it get back my Villainous Wealth, and maybe I can kill him like that? I've never seen this card do anything this good before. Well, this thing's not gonna save me. Maybe I needed to not cast the Girid, just be satisfied with the 0 cards I got off of the Villainous Wealth for 7 in that case. Come on, Swamp. I'm trying to draw a Swamp. Not a Swamp, but I guess it could be worse. Come on, Swamp. I'm ready to draw a Swamp now. Is this thing a snake? No, it's a human warlock. Unfortunate for people who want to use that snake board person. I don't think that was close to being a mulligan. Why mill them? Because that's the way my deck's generally going to win, is by milling my opponent. Keep it when I have surprise in my hand, yeah. Oh, they've countered my spell. I think I'll be patient with this and not just go and get a second black land right away. I don't love what's happening here. They've got a really good card in their deck to get vibes. Like maybe Cruel Ultimatum. I do have 2 copies of this. So if I draw one of those, I could actually counter their Cruel Ultimatum. Would take a land. struggle to find a land is real. That's a pretty good card. I'm really starting to take a toll on their deck. Milled them twice, and I've Siphon Insighted them. It's a rare. This was the card I was about to go and get. Does campaign go back to my hand? Yes. At least I assume so. It didn't create like a copy of the card or something. Didn't enjoy that happening. Come on, bounce it. Oh. Lame. This isn't just the top card, it's their choice from the top 3. And they're getting to cast it for free. That's kind of insane. How good that is. Come on, something good. Not really. No one would dare to block me there. Oh, it's not top 3, it's your choice from 3 random spells? Well, even better. 3 random non-land cards, yeah, you're right. Come on, just return this a little bit. I don't have to return it excessively to your hand. Yeah, they did probably take Villainous Wealth. They've stolen 3 spells from my deck at this point. How am I going to win? They probably took Villainous Wealth or one of my Weaver of Negotiations. Maybe they eventually misclick. Maybe. Maybe Villainous Wealth has some weird wording where it can never target the owner of the spell. No, turns out that's not the case. Although they got kind of a whammy. Nah, I guess they got a Weaver of... Weave the Nightmare, not Weaver of Negotiations. Yeah, I think we're done here. Is the new Alchemy out? It is. I'm playing with the cards as we speak. I was just heisted to a catastrophic defeat. They heisted my Villainous Wealth. needed an illusion gadgeteer. This card's confusing. It says secretly choose. Like, the choice is a secret, right? The fact that you're choosing isn't a secret. I guess I should build myself here. Because of the gadgeteer. I failed. Is the heist draft environment any good? Yeah. Sure. Why wouldn't it be? Is it the same team that worked on Alchemy as the main set? No, I would assume it's not. Ugh, man, I'm gonna get destroyed this game too. I don't know. I didn't get enough cheap removal to make this deck work really well. This is like a slaughter. Yes. Do that and just pray that they don't have more mounts. Yeah, they had another mount. So I pray for no more mounts planned. That didn't work. They have steer clear, I assume. That's the only way this attack makes any sense, but I have to block and just make them play it. Please don't have any more mounts. It's my best hope. Okay. That's yet another thing that taps this thing, though. And that's yet another mount. Maybe is there some sort of Wrath they could have? They could have the 6 mana Wrath? I could Siphon Insight the 6 mana Wrath and then draw it on tapped land. What are they thinking about? Crew the mobile homestead and attack me. Then post-combat you crew it again with Wily Duke all-in hero. I can't draw a sweeper. I'm sure Clear Shot will save me. Doesn't seem like it's going to save me. Wish I could have played more games with that deck. Thought it was pretty good, and I just lost to some very fast draws. Was that only my second loss, maybe? I don't think so. tough out here. Did I join the Cube Team Draft server? I did. Well, I didn't join the LSV I think has 2. I didn't join the one where it's like a set team league. I joined the one that's just pickup drafts. Which I think a lot of Luis's videos come from the pickup draft server. All right, we got to mill them again. Is this one good? What does it do? Not really. I mean, it's fine. Where's... Wait a second. Oh, no, this is an alchemy draft. I was like, where's my alchemy card? It's right there. Do I plan on putting out any videos from this Cubes drafts? Maybe. I haven't recorded any of them yet, but I might do some of them. Not a great alchemy card. This is... I think this isn't that bad of a card. I mean, some of the alchemy cards seem quite good, and this is definitely not at that level. I kind of want to pick Dessert's Due just because I kept getting run over by those aggressive decks. Alternately, I could take Explosive Derailment and I'll probably wheel Thunder Salvo. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I could have had 2 of these. But actually, I'm getting to pick the best card in this pack. This card is like outrageous. So it's 4/4 haste for 4. And then when it attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target. So you can just have it be like 5/4 haste for 4. But if it's saddled, you can deal the damage to a creature, and then that creature perpetually greens, can't block. I don't know what this card is. First strike, lifelink, 3-drop. That ability is really not that good. I mean, at least not in draft. I suppose in constructed this would be kind of an annoying effect to have on a card, but I mean, this card isn't, it's like not sized to be good enough for constructed, so nobody's going to play that in their constructed deck. So I could pick fine red card or white card. I do have a mount. I think I'll take the white card. Indomitable Creativity to find my Switchgrass Grazer. It'll just be a little bit random as to whether or not it works. Probably not. Alright, Scorching Shot. Could be a lot worse. Ferocification, just what I needed. That may not be correct. This is probably Bucolic Ranch or Take Up the Shield. I'm almost definitely going to be red. It's not 100% I'm going to be white. And even like in a red-white deck, Bucolic Ranch is going to be good. So I will happily take that one. What is Heist? Heist, you get your choice of... You get shown 3 random non-land cards from your opponent's deck. And you get to pick one. And you can cast it sort of like you Gontied it. This is... Do I want another Derailment or do I want a Homestead? I think I want a Homestead. What is Heist? Heist is also a PoE mechanic. That's true, man. I refuse to do Heist. Is Homestead my favorite non-rare in this set? I don't know. I pick it really highly because it's an above-average card that goes in basically any deck. So especially early on in drafts, it's a pick you know is going to be a pretty good card in your deck. Both because it's colorless and also just because it's cheap. Like, you don't get in a situation where you're like, I got too many expensive cards. I can't play them all with Homestead because it's cheap. Sapphire Collector's pretty good. 3/3 prowess that you eventually get. Like, if you actually get to do the thing where you get the mocks and you can start activating it to give cards flashback in your graveyard, that seems pretty strong. But just 3/3 prowess for 3 with upside. It's like pretty good upside too. Like, even if you don't get to the point where you're paying for the flashback, you just get a free mana source if you can cast two 9-creature cards in a turn. And look, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go turn 3 Sapphire, turn 4 double Homestead. And then my opponents will know fear. All right, we need something to crew these Homesteads. Get in there, Sterling Keeper. And this was not the Thunder Salvo I thought would wheel. That was in the previous pack. This is a different Thunder Salvo, but I'll take that one too. Have I played any of this league? It's kind of stupid. You can buy Headhunters for 7 div. I did play. I got 2 characters to, like, I guess 97 or 98. Then I kind of stopped playing. I have one character that I don't know. It's one of those bow characters. I can never remember the names of what builds I'm playing, but it's a bow. It's one of the characters that, like, gets way better at farming if you just get a Headhunter. But I'd kind of stopped playing that character by the time Headhunters got super cheap. I usually don't get to the point where I buy one of the expensive belts. Because, like, usually by the time you've farmed that much on the character, it's just kind of boring. I can't remember the last league that I bought a Mage Blood in. I just never stick with the characters long enough to do that. Alright, this thing seems fine. Pretty good alchemy card. I had 2 copies of it in my last deck, and I lost to a person who had 1 copy of it in their deck. Lightning Arrow Deadeye? Yeah, probably. I think I was playing Lightning Arrow, and I guess I was a Deadeye. It's kind of weird. Like, I just pick a build I'm going to do and look at a build guide, and, like, I follow the build guide. And so I never really feel like the choices you're making are all that impactful, because oftentimes, like, I'm not even reading what they do exactly, just clicking on the thing that it tells you to. I was vaguely considering actually making a PoE YouTube video that was going to be like introductory crafting, and there's a lot of PoE videos that are like, this is how you get started crafting, where they just tell you the names of, like, what all the materials are and what they do. And I don't think that's a video that another copy needs to be made of. But I was going to make one that's like, when you first log into PoE, these are like the first 3 crafts you could do. Like, you know, how to roll a flask kind of stuff. I think I'm going to take Great Train Heist, just in the interest of playing with it. But anyway, one of the points I would make probably in that video is a lot of people get really intimidated by the character skill tree in PoE. And honestly, like, I think the way most people play PoE, once you're a little bit into it, like, you don't even really look at the character skill tree hardly at all. You're following a guide that, as you get the points, you just open it up, spend the point. You don't even really read what it does. And then you just keep going. So like, most of my characters, I don't know, getting to high 90s. It takes I probably have like, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 plus hours on those characters, and I probably spent less than 10 minutes on each of them looking at the skill tree. And I'm sure that that's all the PoE knowledge people are really looking for. Are you taking guides from Maxroll? Yeah, sometimes I do them from Maxroll. Sometimes I just do them from like random YouTube person who I think has a good guide. I did the second character I did was like summon raging spirits, like poison SRS, which is the build that like I think it's gotten nerfed a little bit. The Maxroll guide was pretty out of date, so I went and found a different one. I thought was a little bit better. How many creatures do I have that can crew the homesteads? Only 6. That's not ideal. I guess I just want a creature. With Shrine Scarabs, you can get 95, 96 in an afternoon. Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but you're not going to do that on your first character of the league. Oh, well, why am I picking this card? I'm never going to play that. I'm never going to play that one either, but I don't know. Oh, I have this Inventive Wingsmith I could use if I get desperate. All right, we got one more pack to see some sweet red-white alchemy cards. I've got the Sapphire Collector. I don't think I really need a second Wanted Griffin. I'm not going to put Dead-Eye Duelist in my deck. One thing about picking the Mobile Homestead super aggressively is you do need to be like pretty careful not to pick a lot of 1-power creatures, because you want to have a high creature count that can crew them, and you don't get to a high creature count that can crew them if you're putting like 1/3s in your deck. Went from feeling like I didn't have enough creatures to now I'm feeling pretty good. I think I'm going to tend to want to play this Highway Robbery in this deck. It's going to give me a decent shot at the Sapphire Collector. Wow, a second. I wouldn't mind having it take up the shield, but I think Frontier Seeker is just really good. I've got, I think, 2 mounts right now. I'll play a 3rd mount. I'll definitely play Wanted Griffin, or I'll play Quilt Charger over Wanted Griffin with 2 Frontier Seekers in my deck. This is a new alchemy card. It's not bad. I think if you're like a red-black draft deck, you're always going to play this. You're going to be pretty happy with it. But I'm certainly not going to splash for it. I don't know why I picked Great Train Heist so highly. It's just a card I haven't played with very much, so I thought it would be fun. So we got Lassoed by the Law, which is obviously a pretty good card. And then we have this thing, which is the super upgraded Discerning Peddler, which I think I'm going to take. It's 2/2 first strike for 2, which is a pretty big deal. And then you discard to get to heist them, which is probably a better deal than the discard you get from Discerning Peddler. And it also, if you have no cards in your hand, you don't have to discard. The Jet Collector, what's this one do? 4 more cards are in your graveyard. Conjure Oxjet into your hand. The beginning of your post-combat main phase. So this can just work right away. And then you can reanimate. Wow. That card's good. It's probably not as good as Railway Brawler, but it is good. What's this one do? Target tapped creature loses all abilities. Then it takes 4 damage, cycling 2. But it's a tapped creature. This is obviously... I don't know, is this card even better than Ariet's Lullaby? I mean, it has cycling, but... It seems kind of worse. I'll pick it just because I don't have one, but I don't think I'm going to play with it. How good of a Scalestorm Summoner deck is this? 3. I don't think I would play Steer Clear just because I want to have a high creature count. Yeah, alright. Still sort of... I need one more non-land. And then I'll start cutting things. What's this card do? As long as you control exactly one creature, that creature has Vigilance and Ward 2. I've always wanted an enchantment that gives my creatures Vigilance in a restrictive way. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, seek 2 non-land cards, then discard a card. This card seems terrible. Like, I don't... How much mana would... At what mana cost would you be excited to put that in your deck? I guess 1? If it cost 1 mana, you'd be like... Even then, I don't know that I'd be like, yes, this is the best card ever. But I think at 3 mana, it's not a very good deal. Alright. I'm going to upgrade this summer to a Bridled Bighorn because of my mount synergies. Ooh. Do I want Eartha Joe? Probably. You would be excited to play it at 0, yeah. Rare draft, 20 gems from me. You'd be happy at blue? Yeah, I think at blue, like single blue, it would be pretty strong. At 3 mana, though, it's not seeming good. I mean, maybe in drafts, like, at 3 mana, it's okay. I don't know that it's even... Does it even make every blue deck at 3 mana? Probably not. Does anybody know any good combos with Luxurious Limousine? Oh, Luxurious Locomotive, sorry. I thought it was a limousine. It's a locomotive? And it's luxurious. Have I put Plot Twister in any deck so far? What's that card? The locomotive is cracked with Simulacrum Synthesizer. I think it's more cracked with the... I can never remember the name. The white 2/4 dwarf. Oltec Gatekeeper, maybe? Because you just keep making more locomotives. Oh, the 6 mana Twister that you can plot. I picked that card, didn't I? Where'd it go? Step Between Worlds. Oh, I see. You weren't telling me the name of a card. You were describing what the card was. Plot Twister. I've never put this card in my deck. Matter Weaver. Yeah, that's the card I keep forgetting the name of. I've tried a lot of cards in this set, but I have not tried that one. Ooh, Tome Trawler. I've tried Tome Trawler before. I almost missed. Tome Trawler is broken with Surveil lands, because you can surveil the card into your graveyard and then use the Tome Trawler to put it on the bottom, so you can just convert your surveil effects into scry effects because of the power of the Tome Trawler. None can deny the power of the Tome Trawler. Come on, something good. Give me something good. A backup Lazav. I don't know that I need a backup Lazav. Maybe I just want a Vault Plunderer. I was hoping to get a removal spell for the Lazav. It was kind of greedy to attack before I figured out my spell was going to resolve. But I did it. Seems like I'm well on my way to losing again. Whoa! They made an Eartha Joe? So... Oh no, Eartha Joe Tome Trawler isn't a combo. That's too bad. I thought they'd done something great, but they hadn't. Knew it was going to be a problem. I have so many of my mounts in my hand and so many of my planes in play. Ringleader.
Make haste. I have a job. Call the Undertaker. Let's raise the stakes.
I like this attack. Oh, I can't. I thought I could shoot planeswalkers. Not great. I forgot that in this set, most of the common removal can't target planeswalkers. It's not really a thing anymore. What other abilities does this have? Draw cards, and then if a crime was committed.
This will make things more exciting.
I'm not understanding this attack. Yeah, I didn't understand what the point of that was. The Tome Trawler got in on the action, at least. So I guess that's good. Oh, please don't have a way to kill my Switchgrass Grazer. It's like a build-your-own questing beast.
If there's one thing I hate, it's empty.
They didn't even want to use the Tome Trawler? That's disrespectful. Certainly you want the Oko on the bottom of your deck to enjoy again later. A Rictus Robber. I see. It would have been a good turn to draw a spell. A great train heist. Ow. I guess that's an okay attack because they are getting the 2/2. Like they converted their 3/2 into a 2/2. How much is this to do all the modes? 7. All right. It was a heist. Target an opponent. Oh, I'm just getting the treasures. The treasures don't help me, but okay. I'll get those too. But can I attack? Both? Yeah. I couldn't attack with both. No, I'm an idiot. I couldn't attack at all. Seems like I did something wrong there. It was definitely right to saddle the Grazer because I was killing the Vault Plunderer. But I guess I had to just leave everyone back after that, and so I'm probably still in a losing position. It's sad when you're so far behind that not even the Great Train Heist will save you. Maybe the way I messed up that game was I should have played the Grazer like the first turn I could possibly do it. Alright, this is how I can get a win. Just need my opponent to miss their land drop while I have a good draw. And I need to hit a land here. And probably I'm going to need to hit a land next turn. And it'd be nice if it was the Bucolic Ranch. It'd be nice if I also didn't draw any more lands. If there's any justice in the world, I'm about to put Bucolic Ranch into play. There's no justice in the world. All we got was a Plains. It's barely even worth it. It wasn't even worth looking. If I was playing in real life, I would have just... I'd known there was a Plains on top of my deck. I wouldn't even bother to look. I just would have been like, fine, I'll draw the Plains next turn. I can't be bothered. I could have used the Heist to ambush them when they attacked. Okay, yes. Although, wait, then I wouldn't have had first strike. One of my creatures would have traded in combat with theirs, wouldn't it? That wouldn't have been good either. Come on, mountain. Wow, I did it. I really did it. Oh, what? Oh, this thing's really good. Really good. What does it do exactly? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control that perpetually gets haste if it's 4 power or greater, not the Frontier Seeker. If it's 4 toughness or greater, you gain 4 life. If its mana value is 4 or greater, you seek a card. That thing is going to be hard to beat. On justice, give me something good. Alright, I'll take it. Kind of feel like I'm getting baited here, but I was. I just accepted getting baited, I guess. Suppose if I had known I was drawing Take Up the Heist and I had just let my mobile homestead die and just played Eartha the turn before, this turn I could have played Take Up the Shield and Thunder Salvo, but I wasn't gonna have enough mana to then give the Thunder Salvo flashback. It's a sterling supplier. So they played 2 creatures both times. It went and got them another creature, and they gained 4 life. I'm beginning to think that card's going to be quite hard to beat. That didn't even do anything for them. They got robbed. He had nothing? Like, oh, my opponent has nothing. I prefer alchemic drafts to regular drafts. It's nice as a change of pace. Like, this is probably only going to be on Arena for, what, a week, maybe? I'll do it for a week and then go back to doing regular drafts. I think if they hadn't gained 12 life this game, I would be doing a lot better. I think that the 12 life might be where things really started going wrong. I guess this was all good stuff. Should I play my Mox? Does it do anything for me right now? No. I'll use it to trigger Prowess next turn. Wait, why is this... Oh, it perpetually has haste because of this thing. That's why it's purple. It's been purpleized. Guess I'm not going to block this turn. Not great. Ooh, new card. Never deals combat damage to a player. Heist. And it grows. That's a really good card. Where were you a while ago? There's no way I'm killing them this turn. If there's any justice, I'm going to draw Prickly Pear next turn. Or the Sapphire Collector. There's two ways there could be justice. I guess that counts as justice too. It's like partial justice. But only if I hit Bucolic Ranch here. There's no justice. Come on, one time can we have some justice? Just one time justice. There's never any justice. My opponent's up to tricky things over there. That was unfortunate. Finally, some justice. I don't consider that to be justice. It's been really hard to get a win today. Really hard. guess best case, I draw the Grazer. Like, I'm going to have to take up the shield something just to gain life this turn to not die. It's not really clear. How I can actually win this game, but I can at least buy a turn. So I think I need to keep all my mana available. And not gonna... I guess if they have Fierce Retribution, they can spend 6 on it. So I didn't really play around anything. Okay. And I'm dead. The Great Train Heist was supposed to save me. Man, another 1-3. Alright, that's all I got time for. Thanks for watching. Hope you find some of the new alchemy cards cool. And hope you win with them more than I do. I'll see you next time.